Hello there,
General Kenobi.
and welcome to another episode of the Prequel Gang Podcast, the show where we talk about movies completely unscripted.
Oh
Today,
yeah.
we are talking about Star Wars The Last Jedi. It's the second installment of the sequel trilogy, and this is the point in the trilogy when things kind of started to fall apart a little bit.
Oh no, this is the point in the series where everything fell apart.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. This movie was kind of the reason why a lot of things fell apart in The Rise of Skywalker, but a lot of things, for me at least, like when I rewatched it, they didn't entirely fall apart until The Rise of Skywalker, but that happened because of The Last Jedi, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So, yeah, basically, we don't like this movie. At least in my opinion, it's definitely the worst Star Wars movie. Maybe for you, I think you really dislike Solo, but yeah.
Well, okay. So here's the thing. I don't think Last Jedi is a bad movie as a whole, but like it has a lot of major problems that definitely makes it the weakest one that we've talked about so
Yeah.
far.
So, let's get into the plot.
Okay, so let's start with the opening. This opening, we open with like the Resistance attacking one of the
No, no, no,
First
no.
Order.
The Resistance is fleeing. They're getting attacked by a dreadnought, which is a new kind of ship that has like mini Death Star lasers on it, and yeah, so that's why they're running away, basically.
Right, and so meanwhile, Poe was like doing a lot of stuff on the Dreadnought, like taking out a lot of its cannons and stuff.
Yeah, basically, Poe goes and he destroys all the cannons in the dreadnought so that a bunch of Resistance bombers, the worst bombers of the worst ships I've ever seen, by the way, can like come up and destroy the dreadnought. So basically, yeah, the bombers come in and they're like, they look cool, they look really cool, but like how they drop bombs using gravity in space? It's so weird. But basically, yeah, a bunch of them get it destroyed and a lot of people die, and then Leia gets mad at Poe.
Yeah. So anyway, this opening was like, it's fun to watch at first. Like it's like a lot of the dialogue, especially there's like a part where Poe calls up the First Order base, and he pretends that
Yeah.
he can't hear them, and that was kind of
Which
funny.
honestly, yeah, I think it was funny, but like it wasn't Hux's character, because Hux was all comedic in this movie, so, and in the last movie he was all serious, so they kind of just ruined his character, which was a shame, because I kind of liked her. But yeah, and then basically Leia gets mad at Poe. So
Yeah, Leia gets
yeah.
mad at Poe, but before that, one of the bombers, like, she was like holding this remote to like drop bombs, and then she like drops it, and she's like kicking this ladder to try to catch it so that it falls back down, and they like. It's like they make a really big deal out of it, like there's like slow motion and all this stuff, and it's like, I don't know, it
Yeah.
just feels a little bit dramatic, but
It's way too overdramatic for the beginning of the movie, especially. I just feel like the beginning should be maybe either A, you have like a cool action sequence where you know everything is gonna work out, like in Revenge of the Sith,
yeah,
or just like kind of chill, like A New Hope.
right.
Yeah, but then basically, what happens next?
Right.
So they start. Oh yeah, Rey is on She found Luke and she offers him the lightsaber, and then whoa, Luke throws the lightsaber away for reasons. Why? That just, and then he just basically, they turned his character into like narcissistic, like, oh, the Jedi are bad. They basically turned him into a grumpy old man, which is not at all Luke's character.
Yeah, I mean, this could have been, this could have worked in some ways, but like it just doesn't here. Like, I feel like what they might have
Yeah.
been going for was like Rey heard a lot of stories about Luke Skywalker and how he was like this great hero and all that, and then she meets him, and then he's like not at all what she expected. But the reason it doesn't work here is because we saw the original trilogy. We know
Yeah.
what Luke Skywalker is like. So this,
It's just, his character doesn't work in this movie, and then yeah, basically they just, I'm just gonna sum up everything that happens on that planet. for like the first half of the movie. Basically, there's a lot of bad comedy mixed in there, but like Rey is like swinging her lightsaber around and like trying to get Luke to train her, and Luke's just like no. So yeah, and then anyway, basically the First Order chases is the Resistance like light speeds away from the First Order, but the First Order followed them. So yeah, they're tracking them, and Snoke ship shows up, which is a big old triangle. And then
Kylo Ren just smashes his helmet for no reason.
Yep, and then because Ho's mad, and then basically, yeah, Kylo Ren then just gets in his spaceship with like a bunch of others, and they destroy the cockpit on Leia's ship, and then Admiral Akbar dies. Why'd they have to kill off Admiral Akbar? Why?
Well, I mean, in the sequel trilogy, they basically killed off all of the original characters.
But Admiral Akbar, they didn't even need to have him in that movie.
Yeah, well.
But anyway, yeah, then Leia. Leia can use the Force and fly.
Yeah, basically what happened there was Kylo Ren was about to like shoot Leia in the base, but then he hesitated for some reason. Even like so here's the logic of this movie. Kylo Ren basically kills his father without hesitation.
He's basically your average emo teen.
Yeah, but then like he just hesitates to try to kill his mother. But then like some other First Order troops do it anyway. So yeah. Then Leia uses the Force, which since when was Leia able to use the Force? First of all, and second of all, since when was any Jedi ever able to just like fly through space like that?
And not to mention survive the vacuum of space. She literally was covered in ice. Like how cars couldn't survive in space? How could Leia? You don't need to understand that reference, by the way. Yeah. So, basically, then, yada yada yada. They're getting chased, and the Resistance has limited fuel, and Leia's hurt, so she's like basically incapacitated for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
So basically, Admiral Holdo, is that her name?
Yeah, Holdo? Admiral Holdo. Yes.
Yeah. She takes over, and hey, I have a plan. But I'm not telling you my plan, so that you think I have a plan, and then we're wandering aimlessly and just waiting to die. So that's basically what she says to Poe.
Well, yeah, that's basically it. Like,
yeah. And then
yeah. Well, yeah. So Admiral
honestly,
Holdo,
she reminds me of our really bad home economics or something like that, our bad like technology teacher that we had in like 6th and 7th grade.
I don't know.
Yeah, she was just kind of annoying. I don't know. Yeah. But,
honestly, what this Admiral Holdo reminds me of is actually funny. It's funny that you mentioned a teacher, because like it reminds me of a character from Harry Potter, like Professor Umbridge, basically. Yeah, so
I guess Admiral Holdo did kind of turn good in the end, but yeah. So basically, the world's slowest chase scene happens for the majority of the movie, and in the meantime, Finn and Rose, who is a new character, basically she's just like an engineer who's for some reason important in this movie.
Yeah, and for some reason she just is completely against the idea of Finn using an escape pod.
So. Basically, they go to a casino and they free like animals and gamble for a little while, and then they get captured by the First Order.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, the reasoning from there was like, basically that they wanted.
They need to find a master code breaker to be able to disable the starship or whatever.
Right. So then they go there, and actually the sequence on the casino place, that was actually the part of the movie that I actually enjoyed.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
Nothing compared to James Bond though. But
well, I haven't seen it, so whatever.
Yeah. Oh boy, and then basically back on the planet that Luke and Rey are on, Rey goes and just leaves in the Millennium Falcon with Chewie.
Well, okay, then, there's more to the part with Rey and Luke. Let's talk about that. So basically, Luke explains to Rey that like at first, like this is the first version of the story that he tells, that he went to like check on Kylo Ren and then Ben Solo, that was his name, basically betrayed Luke and whatever, and left. And so at first Rey's like, "Oh, you didn't fail Ben Solo. Ben Solo failed you."
Yeah.
And then like they actually do some training, and then like basically like Luke has Rey like close her eyes and reach out with her feelings or whatever, and then she just sees a whole bunch of stuff, and I mean, it's a beautiful looking scene, but it doesn't really make sense in the context of the story.
It just doesn't at all.
And then
So yeah.
And then basically Kylo Ren contacts Rey with some like FaceTime Force version, I guess.
Yeah, it's confusing, but it doesn't even matter for the plot. But yeah, basically Kylo convinces Rey to like come see him, I guess.
Well, kind of.
And he's shirtless also.
At first, Kylo Ren tells Rey his version of the story, which is that Luke was trying to kill him, and then when Rey confronts Luke about it, Luke tells her that he saw, I guess, darkness in like Ben Solo's thoughts or whatever. Then he pulled his lightsaber for whatever reason, and then and then by the time he realized his mistake, it was too late. But why did Luke pull his lightsaber out to begin with? This is the same person who turned Darth Vader from a Sith Lord to like an actual somewhat decent human
really
being,
doesn't
I guess.
matter. But yeah, basically, where were we at? Oh yeah.
Well, okay. There's just one more thing that I want to mention, and that's the fact that Luke Skywalker then also tells Rey that like the legacy of the Jedi was like failure and hypocrisy and whatever, and to a certain extent he's right. Like within like in the prequels, the Jedi were like they were wrong like a lot of the time.
But yeah, basically they ruined his character.
They ruined his character, but. One time, I saw this YouTube video that claims that the fact that Luke was like, what's the word I'm looking for? He was acknowledging the fact that the Jedi were like they were wrong in a lot of ways. That somehow saves the prequels, and I don't agree with that. The prequels were good to begin with, but basically the points they bring up in the video, which if I find it, I'll link it in the description. Basically, it's like that. You know, they didn't call enough attention to the fact that the Jedi were wrong in the prequels. So now when Luke says it, this is like, you know, changes a lot of people's perspective. Which
it really doesn't though. It makes Luke seem like even more of a grumpy old man.
Yeah, but like if this is what it took for people to appreciate the prequels, then like I guess this movie kind of needed to happen.
People already appreciated the prequels though before this movie came out.
No. Like, I'm pretty sure the whole reason why George Lucas no longer owns Star Wars, why he sold it is because people didn't like the prequels.
No, Timmy, he just didn't. He just wanted to retire.
All right, whatever. So
Yeah.
Anyway, basically after that, Finn and Rose they find a code breaker and then they get off the planet. Place.
They get arrested because the code breaker was actually evil.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Poe is still on the Resistance base trying to get everyone to like
follow him, and he mutinies because obviously he didn't think they had a plan. But honestly, Poe's my favorite sequel character. He's the one who makes the most sense.
Well, yeah, at least in Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, he was. A little bit less fun to watch in Rise of Skywalker, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Let's get on with it. Yeah. So basically, then, where were we? Oh yeah, Rey leaves the planet, and then Yoda shows up and like convinces Luke not to be such a grumpy old man.
And also basically tells him that his stick is better than bacon.
We'll link that video in the description as well. But. Yeah, Yoda's good in this movie, although... Yeah, I liked how they use a puppet. You didn't, though, but... Yeah,
the puppet was okay, but, like, still, CGI Yoda from the prequels is the best Yoda.
I disagree, but, yeah, it doesn't matter so much. It's just a puppet versus CGI, so... Yeah. Basically, then, freaking they reached the planet that Admiral Holdo had a secret plan, so they reached the planet of Crate, which was an old rebel base, and yeah, then they like go undercover kind of, and they try to like hide the fact that they're escaping to the planet in escape pods, and their First Order finds out and kills like half of them, and then Admiral Holdo goes all kamikaze on Snoke's ship, and light speeds into it.
Right, and so like, this is a part of the movie that I kind of have a problem with, because, like, this whole time, like, Admiral Holdo was, like, this really annoying character who didn't seem to have a plan, but then, and she never tells anyone the plan, but then she has a plan, she executes the plan, so suddenly everyone sees her as this hero and whatever, but, like,
anyway,
and like they make it seem like Poe was wrong for like not listening to her, but really, if she had just told everyone the plan, none of this would have been necessary.
Yeah, we already went over this, but basically, then in the meantime, Finn wrote, Rey and Luke Skywalker, Rey and Kylo Ren have a lightsaber battle. They work together and they kill Snoke for a little bit, and then Rey just leaves and Kylo Ren is hurt. And then, then basically, Finn and
then Kylo Ren becomes the Supreme Leader.
Yeah, and then Finn and Rose also escape, and, they get the Crate. And then, whoa, Leia woke up, and now they're on Crate. So, yeah, and then basically, this part of the movie goes fast. The First Order goes to Crate, obviously, they have, like, a little battle, and then, well, no, they don't even battle. Yeah, they have a little battle where they're in the world's worst speeders, and then Rose pretty much almost kills Finn because he was trying to save them, and then Luke Skywalker did exactly what he said he wasn't gonna do, which is fight the whole First Order with a laser sword. But it was actually like a force projection of him.
Yeah.
And then,
since when is that a thing?
He just dies randomly. He just turned into a Force ghost like Obi-Wan.
Yeah, like what even kills him here? Like at least with
I don't know.
At least with the death of Han Solo, it's like very clear what kills him, a lightsaber through the chest. But here, how did Luke die?
Just dies. I don't know. But,
and spoiler alert: in the next movie, in Rise of Skywalker, they don't explain how Leia dies either. So big oof there, Disney.
I guess it was age, but yeah. And then basically. Freaking, God, this movie is so awful. The Rey lifts a bunch of rocks so that they can get out of there, and then, there's like 40 of them left, and they escape in the Millennium Falcon. And, that's that movie.
Yeah. So, this movie, it's definitely the point in the sequel trilogy where it definitely started to fall apart, and then...
Yes.
But honestly... I can still enjoy watching some of this movie, like, the visuals...
Some of it. Like, the visuals are great, yeah.
The visuals are still really good. I think The Force Awakens still kind of looks a little bit better, but still.
Yeah.
And, like, all the stuff on the casino place with Finn and Rose, that part was enjoyable.
It was basically... They tried to make James Bond into a kids' movie.
What do you mean kids' movie? This is a PG-13 rated movie.
Yeah, but that casino part was very PG.
Yeah, you're right.
And then, that's I guess that's it. Do you have any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. This movie is definitely the worst Star Wars movie that we've looked at so far, but honestly, I think The Rise of Skywalker is worse, and of course, Solo is the worst Star Wars movie I have seen.
I disagree. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. If you'd like to see any other movies in the future, then let us know down in the comments, or we also have Instagram, which we will link in the description. So, keep having the high ground.
Bye.